So this is our app. It's called Discovery. And basically what it does is it recommends popular food items and beverages from local restaurants. And so in the home screen, it basically shows you the top 5 restaurants near you. So I live in Monterey Park, so it shows me like local restaurants, and it even like gives me the kilometers to my city. And so let's just tap on the first one. It kind of does take a little while to load because the algorithm that we used, it takes like some time. So for every single restaurant, it will show you the restaurant name and a picture of the restaurant, and also 5 of the most highly rated food dishes. So for this one, it shows the beef stew curry dish as the best, and it has 0.9, and the scale is from -1 to 1, 1 being the most positive review and -1 being the most negative. And it says it's highly recommended. So there are like some more generic names too, like vinaigrette and beef, but there are also some more descriptive names like chicken garden salad. So it really like depends on the Yelp reviews and how descriptive the reviews are. So let's go to another restaurant, Tokyo Fried Chicken.
Yeah, so basically our app, unlike Yelp, we actually recommend you each dish based on how customers have talked about it in the past. So we take Yelp's actual reviews and we run it through our program, and then we recommend you these dishes.
And also it could recommend you like dishes you may have never heard of, or like different types of dishes like dashi, which is like this type of like some sort of part of the Japanese cuisine.
So our app wants to solve the problem of basically when you go to a restaurant, we both found that a lot of times we don't really know what to order, especially if it's like a new restaurant that we've never been to. And we not only want to look at from like the website of the restaurant itself, which could be like misleading, and sometimes they want you to buy food just because like maybe that's what they have in stock today, and so they put it as like the best rated dish on their website. Instead, we wanted to do it such that like you get the dishes that users think are the most delicious. And so basically we want to improve the restaurant experience. So now I'm going to show you our backend. Alright, not sure if you can see, but this is our GitHub. I guess I can just kind of briefly explain. Yeah, so in the beginning we imported Beautiful Soup, which we use to do web crawling and parse out the each review from the Yelp page, and then Flask for the framework. Oh yeah, we also had to create something called Blackwords, which is like a filter. Caroline, do you want to explain?
Yeah, so basically our app takes Yelp reviews and then it uses a natural language processor from Google, which basically analyzes like the overall sentiment of the reviews, which means how positive or negative a review is. And then after it analyzes the sentiment, it also sorts out the food items, but the sorting process isn't too accurate, and sometimes non-food words like table or chair, those also pop up too. So we created a Blackwords list, which basically is like a very long list of non-food words, and basically it will filter out all those words and keep all the food words.
Yeah, exactly. And then, right, so then we continue down. Basically, we also use sentiment analysis in our program. That's where you see like the 0.9 as the ratings and things. Basically, we use Google's sentiment analysis API, and then it gives us a number. Basically, it calculates like what the emotion is attached to it, whether it's positive or negative for each single word. And then the more positive it is, the higher score it's going to get. So yeah, that's what it is. And then as we scroll down, there's also the app route. This is, okay, so let me show you the backend data, where the data is. Let me just, how do I get rid of that? Okay, so as you can see, this is our app route. And if we go to, this is our data backend. And then if you see here, there's the app.route, and it's this get review URL. So to see the data, we can copy paste this into here. We just press enter. And at first it doesn't work because you haven't given it any parameters yet. That's because, okay, so we need to select like a restaurant that's currently on Yelp. So let's go to yelp.com. I don't know. What do you guys like to eat? Boba. So then, oh, this one looks cool. Okay, so let's say I want to grab all the reviews and the sentiment from Laboratory. I'm just gonna copy paste the link, and then here I have to basically give the parameter
URL equals.
So now we have like basically given the parameters, and then it's loading, takes quite a while because there's a lot of, right, yeah. So then now it parses out everything, each word basically. Boba, you can see the sentiment is very high, and for each bracket inside is like a word and its sentiment in the name. So our program basically, the data is stored here. The data is here. Okay. And then this is also another diagram of our app. And then let's see how we're doing on time. Should we show them our website?
Sure.
Okay. So in the Kahoot, we talked about HTML, and that's what we used to build the website. We actually bought a domain name, and we also bought a template. So here is the HTML code. As you can see, the things in here correspond over here. In the beginning, there's these texts, and these are from here. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Caroline, if you have anything to add, you can just jump in. But yeah, so this is our HTML code, and we also have the CS. Basically determines like all the styles here, all the formatting, the font, the colors, and yeah, basically everything that you see. And then yeah, so then the HTML is more about like the each individual object and the columns and the classes. Yeah, so this is our website. If you want, you can also visit our website at discovery.app. As you can see, we still haven't put in a lot, so we still haven't put in the screenshots yet, but well, that will be up soon. Most of it is done though. Right now, our app is also published on Google Play, so you guys can also go download that. It's called Discovery, as you can see here.
And our Apple app is still in the process of being approved.
I feel like we covered everything, but it's only 8:24. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, Caroline?
Do you want to like go over how we like created this app, or like our inspiration for it?
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, I guess we can just talk about. Yeah, go ahead.
So, in middle school, we usually like went out to like different local restaurants and like places after school just to like have a refreshing drink or like a light snack. And so whenever we went to those restaurants, we didn't really like know what to order because there were so many choices. And so we basically looked at Yelp reviews, but even those Yelp reviews, like there were a lot of options too, and we didn't really know like which food items to get. So we decided to create this app, Discovery, so that you could easily find food items and beverages without looking through a bunch of different Yelp reviews. And so this just makes the process a lot more easy.
Yep. And also right now in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, it's kind of difficult to go out and eat at restaurants, which is why like a lot of times instead of, well, I mean, we still eat at restaurants, it's more about ordering now, and a lot of times when you're ordering, you don't really get to see a menu, and so that's why it's like even more important that you see like what other people recommend, what dishes that are good and that you can't see in person, but you can take the word of those who have eaten at the restaurant before you.
So one of the reasons why we used web scraping, which is basically taking a bunch of the data from the Yelp website and then turning that data through and putting that data through the Google natural language processing, is because we tried using the Yelp API, but it was really restrictive because it only allowed 3 Yelp reviews, and each review only had 160 characters, which is like barely even one sentence. So that obviously wasn't enough for us to actually analyze the reviews or find any food items. So we used Beautiful Soup and this web scraping method to get a lot more data, and it's a lot more updated because the Yelp website is obviously like very, it always refreshes, and so it's like the most current data.
Yeah, and there's also one problem with that is that when Yelp decides to like update their format on their Yelp page, then our web scraping doesn't work anymore. So it's kind of like the downside to that. But mostly for the most part, Yelp doesn't do that, doesn't update their formatting. So yeah, it works. And then we can always change our backend to modify and basically like switch to the new formatting. Since I can just show it, HTML is pretty easy. I'll just refresh. Okay. So yeah, on the right we have basically the HTML editor. It's just software that you can use. I'm pretty sure there's other softwares out there, but I just use Sublime so that it's no more WordPress. Okay. HTML is pretty intuitive to use as well. For example, if you see here, let's scroll up a bit to the very top. There's this, as you can see, I highlighted it. It's the Discovery app landing page, and this text here corresponds to this little text on top. So I don't know if you can see it, but if I change this and refresh, this also changes, but it won't change in the actual like domain, like online website because I haven't pushed it to Origin yet. But this is just the file on my computer. So if I refresh, then everything changes. So if I change, let's change the color. If you guys know about hex numbers, basically they're like an ID for every single color there is in the world. I'm pretty sure FFF is white. Let me refresh. So if I make this, so this was the red text. This used to be red, and then now that I've changed the color over here, basically you can see that it just modifies it. Yeah, in HTML there's like classes and sections basically. If you see here, there's something called a section ID. That's basically, yeah, so if you can imagine for each section there's like an ID, and for this one, it's the inspiration part. So basically, this is the entire section. And if you go up to here, you can see that there's like an inspiration up here as well. This is basically the nav bar. This up here is the nav bar. So that means that basically this is the text. This text links to the inspiration page. There's also columns. That's more like formatting. So for each class, there's a lot of different classes. So to import an image, you have to first get the image in the file of the image here. And then basically you just have to change this part or just the name of the image. So PNG works, JPEGs work.
We use GitHub pages to make changes to the website and like use our website. So I think that's free, right?
Yeah. The website. Wait, but then to buy the domain and then the template. Yeah. So there's two costs. One is to buy the domain. The other one's to buy the template. I'm pretty sure the template was $10, right, Caroline?
It was like $14.
Okay, so then the template is $14. Then I think the domain is $10.